만약 예배를 마치고 술집에 간다면 무슨 일이 일어날까요? 하나님을 만난 한 여성의 놀라운 이야기 지금 시작합니다.
So a friend of mine said that she was invited by someone to go to a church service, but she was not a Christian. So, she didn't really want to go, but she thought, okay, I'll go. But it was her custom to go out drinking on Friday nights. So she invited her next door neighbor to go to the bar with her, but she said, first we have to go to a church service, but we'll sneak out. We'll sit in the back and sneak out. She says, no, I'm not going to go to the bar if I have to go to a church service first. So then she went to her other neighbor and asked her the same thing. She goes, come go with me to have a few drinks, but first we have to stop at the church service because my friend invited me. So she said, okay, I'll do that. So they went, they entered in and sat in the back row. And they were going to sneak out, but when the minister started speaking, the guest speaker, something happened to her, and she wound up going up and giving her life to Jesus, getting saved. And so she went back, she was crying and stuff, and she went back to her seat, and her friend was not there. And then she realized she was at the front too, and she also got saved. So then her friend came to the back, and they were crying and stuff, and so she says, hey, you want to go to the bar? So they took off to go to the bar. And when my friend walked into the bar, she opened the door and it was dark in there, and much to her shock, all the people at the bar were skeletons sitting down drinking beer, and the people playing pool were skeletons playing pool, and the people sitting at the tables were skeletons drinking beer. So she stopped, she got freaked out, she closed the door and she left. Her and her friend left. And she said, I can't believe what I just saw. So she got it, that she wasn't supposed to go there. And I said to her, wow, what a wonderful testimony. Have you been sharing this with people? She says, no, because I think that they'll think I'm crazy. I said, no, you need to share it. But do you understand what happened? And she says, I really don't. I said, God was trying to tell you that all those people in that bar were spiritually dead in their sins, and that was not the place for you anymore, because we don't have business in bars and taverns and clubs. That's for worldly people. If we go in there, because after I got saved, I went to a bar a couple of times, but I was in there witnessing to people. So unless you're going to go in there and witness to people, you don't have any business there, because it's a place of darkness. But if I'm there witnessing, I'm going to get protected. But I don't advise it, especially when you're a young Christian. But nevertheless, God showed you something beautiful. He showed you that is not the place for you anymore. She said, yeah. And she stopped drinking. She stopped going to bars. So anyway, it's wonderful that God would do that for her. That's not for us anymore. Those are places of death and darkness. That's why a lot of murders and fights happen in those places, because people are drunk and they don't even act like themselves. I know some Christians drink, and that's fine. They can do what they want, but we have to keep in mind that drinking changes who you are. When people commit murders, and when people make a mistake and have an affair or just a one-night stand because they were drunk, they say, oh, it's just because I was drunk. All those kinds of things that happen is because alcohol impairs who you are. And when alcohol impairs us, a demonic spirit can come in and use our bodies and our mouths to do and say things that are not right. But a lot of Christians take their chances. I say, if you're going to have a beer, have it at home. But don't go into bars. That's demonic in there. There's a lot. If you can see in the spirit like she did, you will see a lot of demonic spirits in there. That is not for the people of God. But anyway, that's just my advice. God bless you. Have a wonderful night.